Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into the actual designing of this and drawing it in CAD. And before we do that, we need to talk about layers and the laser cutter. I have, what do I got? 4 different layers up here. The first one is a 0 layer. We know that that's in every CAD drawing. We're not going to even pay attention to that. But I've made a cut and engrave, and we've already talked about the picture layer. Let's talk about cutting and engraving. One is red, one is white. Cut is exactly what it means. The laser is going to go all the way through the wood and cut that part of the shape out, as well as this little hole for our string to go through. Versus the engrave, which you see as the text here, meaning it's not going to go all the way through, but it will go, slightly down into the wood. And to give you a better picture example, the cut lines were out here in the cut layer, and then the engrave lines were here, which is your text, again here. Now you could also draw portions of engraving. It doesn't always have to be the text. You could have this part of the snowman engraved, and then the scarf is engraved, and then the text as well. Versus again the cut, they drew for the little buttons here, as well as the mouth, the nose, the eyes. So that is engraving versus cutting on the laser. So you're going to have to determine, what do you want cut out and what do you want engraved. And from there, we can go ahead and start tracing. Now, you're going to use the skills that I've already taught you. Mirroring, you might be using a lot of polar arraying. For example, like these, for the snowflake, this was all polar arrayed. These different patterns you could probably polar array depending on what you want to do. But if you're just tracing, you may end up using an arc tool. The other one that I don't think I've talked about yet, a good one is called spline. If you type in the word spline, you could simply kind of start, creating, a path, a nice smooth path, to create maybe like this portion. And again, keep in mind that mirror tool, maybe you want to draw half the object and then mirror it over, which is actually what I'm going to do for this Christmas tree. So I want the outside of the tree cut out. So I'm going to go to cut, and I'm going to use just a regular line tool. I'm going to start up here. Now I'm just going to try and get close. You don't have to get, why did that just do that? I'm going to pause for a second. Alright, some things that I noticed that I have turned on that are kind of affecting the way I'm drawing is my ortho, so I'm only drawing straight lines. So we got to turn that off. Remember, that's F8. And then the other thing, when I drew a line, it's behind the picture right now, so I'm going to delete that for a second. I need to send this picture to the background, or like in the back, so you can arrange it. So I'm going to click on the edge of the picture, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go to draw order, and I'm going to send to back. So it's behind everything. So now when I draw a line, I'm going to go line tool. I'm going to turn off my snap because it's wanting to snap to that endpoint. And I'm going to start up here, and then now I'm simply just going to kind of trace the left side of the Christmas tree. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to utilize that mirror tool to make my life easy, make this go a little bit quicker. Again, with the mirror though, you're going to want to make sure that this line is perfectly aligned with this one, so I'm going to use dynamic input, but I need to reference this endpoint. Get that. Where are you? There it is. Boom. So now this one is perfectly aligned with that one, and I can use my good old mirror tool and mirror that over, just like, come on, F8, get ortho, enter, there we go. So now the outside edge of the Christmas tree is going to be cut out. And for me now, I'm going to start to put my own little spin on this and be creative here and start adding what I want. I am going to actually engrave this outside pattern here, so that way you could see that, but it's not going to get cut out, so this green part. Now to make my life easy, I'm going to use an offset tool and just offset all the lines of the tree in. So what do I mean by that? Let's grab the tree, And then I'm going to, where are you? I can't remember now. It's one of these, scale. I should know this. This is bad. There it is, right there. If you don't remember something, just type it in. All right, so I'm going to offset. I don't know the distance yet. I'm not sure how far I want to go in. Let's try, I don't know, 0.125. Let's see what that looks like. Enter. Oh, I gotta select my objects again. Oh, I thought it would have did all these. I'm gonna just have to do a lot of trimming, I guess. There. And actually, that's not gonna work. What could I do to make this easy? Well, alright, scratch that. I'm just gonna draw it. Okay, kind of similar to last time. Boom. F8. Sure, I probably could have figured that out, but for time's sake in the video, I'm just going to draw half of this again and then mirror it over like I did last time. Reference this. Where are you? Come on. Here, we'll go to this one. There we go. F8. Boom. Okay, so now I'm going to mirror that over. Mirror from there over. Okay, but did I lose it? I think I accidentally hit escape. We're getting there. Mirror. There. Enter. There we go. Alright, so, but the problem is that all of this should be in the engrave. So I need to get all those lines and turn them into engrave. So now they're white. Now, I don't want just that little line to be engraved. If I left it like that, it would look like that snowman. Remember this? Can I zoom in here? Oh, there we go. So it's just going to look like this, but I want it to be filled in like this. So to do that, we're going to use something called hatch. So I want all this green area to be filled in and engraved. If I just leave the line, it's going to be a flat line. And I noticed I got a mistake here. I need to connect that. So I'm going to go back to the engrave, and I'm going to type the word hatch. Come on. Engrave. I'm going to type hatch. So if you want to fill an area, kind of like you saw with the snowman here, you should hatch it and fill in that area so it kind of shades that entire area. So once I go to hatch, I need to click in the area that I want to add it. But the problem is that it has all these weird lines. I want it to be solid. So I'm going to go solid like that. And then I'm going to hit the check mark. So if we think about this, it's going to cut the outside shape and it's going to engrave and shade in this white area. Maybe I also want to add some text. So I can go text tool. I could drag out a text box maybe down here. And maybe I want it to say, now it looks like I'm going to have to make this a little bit bigger. I could pick a font here. I could adjust the text height here like we've done before. Now the only thing I don't like about this is that it doesn't, in the preview, it's just all similar text. It doesn't really show you what it looks like. Let me go back into there. Whoops, I lost it. Text tool. Now let me turn off my snap. Drag a box. I can already tell it's going to be way too big, so I'm going to try 0.25. And type the word Mary, and then hit enter. Let's go Christmas. You may have to do a little bit of guessing and checking with the fonts and the size. I'm going to center that up. There we go. And then I'm going to move that. Maybe I want it there. Wait, where did that just go? Oh shoot, it went behind the picture. Right click the picture, send to back again. Right click the edge. Where are you? Draw order, send to back. Wait, where'd my text go? Well, I'll turn off the picture in a minute. the text is there. I don't know why it won't. Let me try right-clicking the text and draw order and bring that to the front. There we go. So I right-clicked the text because it was there. It was just behind the picture. So I right-clicked it and did the what was it called? The draw order, and then move to front. All right. The last thing we need to do is add in a circle for our hole, so we can run a string through that, and we can actually hang it on the tree. So I'm trying to remember the size, but this definitely has to be in the cut layer. And let me do a quick dimension here to give you a rough idea how big maybe we want to do our circle. So let's say about, I don't know, 0.1, let's say around, we could say about at least 1/8 of an inch, so around like 0.125 we'll say is the minimum. So I'm going to do a circle diameter. Whoops, where are you? Circle diameter. Let's draw a circle, 0.125, enter. Now the other thing is you're going to want to make sure it's, towards the top somewhere. I'm going to put mine there. I also want to leave enough space in between the hole and the outside edge. You don't want that to be too thin because otherwise that could snap. So watch out for that. So that is the design portion, creating the design. One of the last few things we need to do is turn off the picture layer. So I am going to go ahead and turn that off. And then what we need to do is a save. So I'm going to go ahead and file save. And I'm going to get rid of this because that won't be there. And then I'm going to go ahead and submit it. So how do you submit this? You are going to go ahead and go to File Explorer, into your student folder, and go into the folder where you saved your ornament. And then you left click the file to highlight it blue, right click to copy it. Then you need to navigate back to our period level folder. Now we are going to put it in the submit folder, but if you go to double click on the submit folder, it's not going to let you in there. So this is how you do it. Just left click the submit folder once and let go of the mouse, right click and paste. And then just check in with me, come up by my desk and say, hey, Mr. West, I turned in my ornament. Can you double check and make sure it's in the submit folder? And I will give you the okay or go ahead that, yes, it is in there. And then later on, I am going to set all these up on a sheet, and I will cut them out for you and give them to you in class. So that is a tutorial on how to make a laser cut ornament.